was not only like Sammy's brother, he's a proposed member in our family. He was about to become a friend of ours. He did work with us, for us. He saw that Frankie wasn't gonna be nice about this thing. He said, we have him hidden in a home with legitimate people. They're not street people, they're legitimate people. Give us time, he told Frank. The kid owes me $90,000. Something with about a car. He said, let me recoup that money. He owes it to me personally. I wasn't about to be quiet any longer. I said, listen, if it's $90,000 that you're worried about money. I lost my brother. I'll give you the $90,000. Give me this fucking kid. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna kill him. And I'm gonna chop him in 15, 20 different fucking pieces, spread his body all over Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. So everybody knows you kill one of my fucking people, it's exactly what the fuck I'll do. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. I don't give a fuck who he's with. The minute I find him or see him, I'm gonna kill him and I'm gonna kill whoever the fuck he's with.
For the first time ever, Sammy the Bull Gravano tells his story. This is our thing. Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, 1985. Before the hit on Paul.
The kid owes me $90,000. Something with about a car. He said, let me recoup that money. He owes it to me personally. I wasn't about to be quiet any longer. I said, listen, if it's $90,000 that you're worried about money. I lost my brother. I'll give you the $90,000. Give me this fucking kid. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna kill him. And I'm gonna chop him in 15, 20 different fucking pieces, spread his body all over Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. So everybody knows you kill one of my fucking people, it's exactly what the fuck I'll do. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. I don't give a fuck who he's with. The minute I find him or see him, I'm gonna kill him and I'm gonna kill whoever the fuck he's with. See, I mean, that's pretty harsh fucking words. He could be walking around with a friend. I said I don't give a fuck who he's with. They're gonna die with him. He turned to Frankie. Frankie stared him right in the fucking eyes and shook his fucking head. Anybody he's with is gonna go. Anybody. That's what he told you, right? Pay attention. I'm telling it to you too. He knew we were on fucking fire. He backed up and he left. They didn't give him to us. Some of this story I found out years later. They did kill him. They killed him. It's like they didn't want to give me the satisfaction of killing this piece of shit. Junkie, steroid-headed asshole. They did it. And they buried him in Staten Island on the beach, a few feet under the sand. When I was in prison years later, I was with this guy, Mario Palagreco. He was in on the hit. He told me that they were with this legitimate family. They called him to a meeting with Greg Scarpa Jr. They brought him to the meeting. They shot him in the chest, he went down, and then they strangled him. And he told me that they buried him. He was one of the guys who buried him on the beach. He was there when they actually killed him. So at this time, I know the entire story. What happened then and the entire story. I took care of his wife and his children. His son, little Joey D'Angelo, was with me. I almost adopted him. One of his sons committed suicide over this murder. His daughter OD'd. She became a junkie after this murder, and she OD'd years later. Karen became an alcoholic. When I took my wife to the funeral, she fainted. That's how close we all were. We would go, me and my wife would go over Karen's home, his wife. We helped them fix and clean it and change it around, and we kept them, try to keep them strong. Little Joe was with me all the time, day and night. He became a made guy eventually. After I cooperated, I left, he even went on a hit. Any place I went, after his father was dead, and he was a very strong, very powerful kid. He was like my shadow, always, always around me. This is the story that I lived through. I'm living through it again, just talking about it. It just breaks my fucking heart. Not only was little Joe by my side all the time, but Peruta, his wife, came to my wife and said, Peruta used to go to the track every day. He loved going to the track. He loved the ponies, the horses. But he stopped going once time he died. I went to him and told him, Joe, how come you don't go to the track no more? He says, Sammy, you lost your Luca Brasi. I gotta fill those shoes. I gotta be with you every minute of the fucking day.
Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
I grew up with Nicky Cowboy all my life, I know. As kids. He wasn't with the Rampers, he was on another gang that stood in another, it was in our neighborhood, it was in a different section, but he was a tough guy all his life. And he was always in trouble. Drinking, taking a little drugs, but a tough son of a bitch. There's a bunch of stories about him One day he came in my after-hour club, and some street guys came to it. They weren't made guys, but they were street guys. They came in dressed up with a couple of girls who were all dressed up. Nice-looking girls. He's sitting in a booth, Nicky Cowboy, and I'm standing. It's late at night, I'm tired. We're working this place, I'm doing every fucking thing. I'm a fucking bartender, I'm a bouncer, I'm working the card game in the back. I'm exhausted. So I'm standing there and I'm hoping that it'll start to ease up and we can close and I can take a break. And I see Nicky Cowboy get up. I know he's a little drunk. So I'm watching. He walks right over to these people. And he grabs this girl by the arm, turns her around. I think he's got his hand on her ass or whatever the fuck he's doing. There's an uproar immediately. I come running the fuck over. And I grab him and I fling him away from them. What the fuck are you doing? These guys got a little hot. I said, oh, take it easy, bro. Take it easy. Get him the fuck out of here. I told the other people, my guys in the place, get him the fuck out of here, motherfucker. These guys are with these girls. What's wrong with you? So Nicky was called Nicky Cowboy, and he really lived up to that fucking name. He was a cowboy, always into something. Doing stupid shit, doing stuff. He comes to my club and he says, Nick, Sammy, we know each other all our lives. You got me out of trouble a bunch of times. I want to join your crew. I want to be with you. I said, Nicky, you got a lot of bad habits. My crew we're pretty strong with, a little bit about drinking. You can drink, but we don't want you slobbering around drunk or out of order. Definitely no drugs. Not only dealing drugs, but especially taking drugs. And every once in a while, I understand you take drugs too. I don't allow that. And if somebody does that in my crew, they're gonna pay the price. They all know it. So I don't know if you really want to be part of my crew. Sammy, I swear, no drugs. I drink a little bit, but I won't get drunk. And if I get drunk, you just give me a kick in the ass and I'll go home. You're not with nobody, which I knew. He was more independent. So anyway, I took him on to be part of my crew. One quick story with him is that I had an after-hour club on 86th Street on 20th Avenue. The name of the after-hour club was 2020. And he would go there and just watch my club and talk with some of the guys who were there, bouncers. Everybody there was with me. It was my joint. Street people knew that. Everybody knew that. One night he comes out and there's a guy beating up a girl right in front of the place. He grabs the guy and he flings him away from the girl. The girl starts yelling at Nicky, he's my boyfriend, leave him the fuck alone. Nicky's like in a little bit of shock. He's trying to help her, and she's yelling at him. So he says, well, you could do whatever the fuck you want, but not here. There's good people who own the place, meaning street people, old wise guys. There's good people who own the joint. Keep your fucking arguments somewhere else. Him and the girl leave. They go around the corner to a car, parked car. The kid gets a gun from the car, comes scooting around the corner and shoots Nicky Cowboy right in the chest. Turns around and runs. I get a
Or
call.
running guys, flippy flops.
Sammy, Nicky got shot. He's by 2020. I go fucking flying in. I go there. I see him. He's bleeding. I throw him in a car with a couple of my guys. I rip my t-shirt off and I put it on his chest to stop the bleeding. I tell him, drive him to the Coney Island hospital. I said, Nicky, relax. Take deep breaths and relax. We'll get you to the hospital. You just run the fuck in. Somebody shot you. You don't know who. You know the drill. I got it, Sammy. No problem. Do you know this fucking kid? No. I don't know who the fuck he is. I never saw him before. Okay. We'll check it out. Let's get you in the hospital. We get him in the hospital, and he's in the hospital.
Fuck.
This kid is with a pack of fucking young kids who are with this guy, Georgie Rush, who is a May guy, and he's in the Genovese family. This kid, Robert Scapacci, calls Louis Melito. Louis Melito was with us at that time. And he calls me up and he said, I'm gonna come and pick you up. Oh. Why? Scapacci's telling me some crazy shit. I'm gonna pick you up and we're gonna go over his house in Brooklyn. And we do that. We talk to Scapacci and he says, this kid who shot Nicky Cowboy went to this little pack of kids that stay together. And they're not babies, they're in their 20s when I say kids. And they went to this guy who was their man, Georgie Rush, who's a made guy in the Genovese family, and told him about the incident. They told him your name. It's Sammy's club. Georgie Rush gave them permission to kill you. To kill me? Yeah. How do you know? I was at the meeting with them. I'm friends with them. He says they're gonna have a car, a Volvo or something like that. It's maroon or red. And he gives the plate number. Be careful with this car. And he gives us a whole story. Me and Louis Melito leave. We're gonna drive back to Staten Island. And he's gonna drop me off home. So I said, do you believe that? Is that possible? That a friend of ours would do something like this? Does this whole thing make sense? I don't really know. But he says he was at the meeting. This kid ain't gonna lie to us. This kid's scared of us, Sammy. He's not gonna lie to us. Something like this. So I don't know if I buy it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Maybe he wants to hurt one of his friends and he gives us some bullshit story thinking we're gonna attack all of them, you know what I mean? Some bullshit like that. I don't know. We're back in Staten Island and we're going home. I live on a dead-end street. There's a cul-de-sac. One way in and one way out. We're pulling to my street, and way in the back in the cul-de-sac, there's a car parked and the lights go on. Doesn't really mean anything, I mean, to me, all that much. It starts coming up slow. Louis Melito says, do you have that piece of paper with the car and the plates and all that bullshit? Why? Yeah, I got it. It looks like it's a reddish car, maroon car. What's the plate on the thing? I give him the plate number. Louis says, oh my God, it's the plate. It's them. I said, hit the fucking gas and just crash into them. We don't have a fucking gun. If this is a hit team, we're done. Crash into them, do something. We gotta do something. Bluff.
This is
Or they'll get aggressive and they'll make the move and we're done. I can't even back the fuck out of here. Or you can't. He hits the gas and he goes forward. They swerve around us. There's 2 or 3 guys, 4 guys maybe in the car. I tell Louis, make a U-turn. Go after them, chase them. Chase them. I want to get a closer look. They're flying down the main avenue, Victory Boulevard, and we're not too far behind them. We're flying. The light turns red, they go right through it. Right on the corner, there's a squad car. Louis hits the brakes. We were going so fast, we skid halfway through the fucking light. But they didn't give a fuck about us. They saw him go flying, the cop car went after them. What do you want me to do? Louis asked me.
I really wish I could have been, like, in this.
Get everybody
I know my
together.
skin ain't right, but this
Game
is
on.
the dopest shit ever.
We meet up. My whole crew is together. Reach out and get this crew of kids. I tell Louis, get back to Scapage. Get all their names. I go put this on record with Tato. Again, right back to Paul Castellano. And there's a name, Georgie Rush, who's a maid guy in the Genovese family, who gave them permission to take me out. Paul says, slow down with this. I'm gonna make an appointment with them. I know who this Georgie Rush is. I'm gonna send Tommy Bilotti with you. Louis Melito, you could go with him. And we'll meet with these people. But Sammy, I want him to talk. Tommy, to talk. Before this meeting takes place, we find out who the kid is and where he lives. He lives in an apartment house. And he parks his car in the basement. I set up on him right away. I ain't holding nothing up. I'm gonna kill this kid. We have walkie-talkies. Sammy, the car just pulled in. It's this kid. I'm on another walkie-talkie. Get ready. He's with a girl, a young girl. Back up. Back up. Don't make a move. Don't do this. Sammy, you sure? Don't do this. We'll get him another time. Or we gotta kill her too. Back up. We back off. We let him and her go. Not that I let him go. I'll let her go. She's got nothing to do with this.
Look at that. Look at the fucking respect. And just...
Meeting is made.
I love this shit.
This guy, Georgie Rush, his captain is the guy who owns Umberto's Clam House.
No one really seems to know this, but Italians
Matty
were
the
niggas
horse.
before niggas were niggas. Okay? They're the original oppressors.
Mario Gigante is going to be
Why do
there.
you think the mob formed? Get the fuck away from
Matty
my
the horse is
family,
there.
bro. That's why. You're not gonna
Georgie
take
Rush is there.
advantage of us. That's why.
I'm there.
I love that shit.
Tommy Bilotti is there. Louis Melito is there. There's a couple of other guys for security reasons. They're not in the meeting, but they're on the peripheral. They're on the outside, making sure nobody walks into this meeting. I already know all their names. They're all half of them a bunch of junkies. They do drugs, they take drugs. He's probably fucking whacked out of his face when he came around the corner and shot Nikki. Nikki was just trying to protect a girl. I'm fucking steaming hot, but I'm told Tommy will do the talking. Mario Gigante starts the conversation off and says, my brother, Chin, sent me here not to discuss this, but to listen and report back to him. So it's up, the boss of the Genovese family is in this, and Castellano's in this, Tato's in this. This is a big deal. We get into the conversations and everything. Tommy accuses them they're a pack of junkies. All these kids are with you. You can't deny it, he admits it. Tommy tells them, we have people, witnesses, saying that you gave them permission to kill Sammy. I was quiet. And he said, when they said a guy named Sammy, I thought it was a Jew, a Jewish guy. I didn't even give Tommy a chance to respond. I responded immediately. That's what you would do? If it was a Jew, it doesn't matter? You would just kill the guy? When they were in the fucking room, your pack of fucking junkies were in the room, they shot a fucking guy for nothing because he was trying to protect the girl, and he didn't even get physically involved. So that's okay with you, number one. Number two, don't you have a captain, a gabardine, named Sammy Meatballs? What if somebody came to me and said, I had an argument with this guy, Sammy, and I told him I'd kill him? You would have killed one of your captains. You didn't even find out who the fuck Sammy was? Matty the horse's head was hanging. It was embarrassing, even what he was saying. That's no fucking excuse whatsoever. Mario Gigante spoke and said, I told you I was here not to talk or get involved in this conversation. But I will say this. I heard enough. You guys could continue talking because I'm gonna leave, or meeting over, and I'll go report back. You guys could go report back to Paul and whoever you have to talk to. Meeting was over. Nothing happened. No, nothing. Georgie Rush's head floated up in Long Island on the beach. Not his body, just his head. There was a bullet hole in his head. So they obviously killed him for what he did. Paul said, there's another meeting. Chin wants to talk to you, Sammy, alone. Do you insist upon having a gabardine come with you?
Gabardine, nah.
I'll go meet with him. I know him. I'll meet with him. I went and meet with him. We shook hands. He's a boss. Gave the utmost respect. He talked for a while. That thing with Georgie Rush, that part of the beef is over. I already knew his head floated up. I said, that's fine. He says, how do you feel? I'm gonna kill the rest of those kids. I'm gonna kill the rest of them. They know who I was, Jen. When they went and asked for permission, they knew I was a friend. My wife said, "What's the matter? You're changing. What happened?" I said, "My best friend is dying. He's melting. He's rotting away while he's alive. That's what's the matter. Don't ask me fucking questions. I keep telling you that. Don't ask me nothing. Isn't that enough?" That day, I got the gun with the sounds. I sat in my bedroom alone. Put the silencer on the gun. I prayed to God, forgive me for what I'm about to do.
For the first time ever, Sammy the Bull Gravano tells his story. This is our thing. Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Peruta was waiting for me. A little while later, my wife came to the room. There's a phone call. I think it's Eddie. I got on the phone. Is everything ready? No, Sammy. Did you hear what happened? What? What happened? Peruta took a turn for the worst. They called an ambulance. He died in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. Oh my God. I don't have to kill him. But I failed him. He didn't die the way he wanted to die because of me. Because I procrastinated. Because I asked John Gotti. Because I didn't want to break a rule. Fuck these rules. I talked to God again. Maybe you're more mad at me now that I didn't do what I'm supposed to do as a man and as a friend. Maybe you're more mad at that than the fact that I was going to kill him. We went to the funeral.
All right, guys. Someone's watching. I don't think anyone's watching, but the fuck?